Morning. Ever thought if you are a gardener of your life? Yes, the word is gardener. Are you a gardener? When I came across this term, gardener of your life, I couldn't understand it at first, but then I slowly understood what it meant. You know, taking care of a garden is not easy. It requires effort, it requires a lot of patience. More importantly, it requires a heart. A heart that says, I value life no matter what form it is in, and nurture it and take care of it. Which means looking at every little aspect of it, touching it, feeling it with a lot of compassion, and spending time with it. Even talking to it. Yes. How you touch the plants, how you touch their leaves, how you feel the soil to see if it's moist, is it overwatered, has it got enough of fertilizer? Basically getting your hands a little dirty. For me, it's not getting my hands dirty, it is getting in touch with nature again. Have you seen a gardener actually in play? Often when I go to a park, I see these gardeners squatting down with their little tweezers, and they're snipping off the weeds that are coming out on the grass. Tiresome, and they've got a football field, the size of a football field, the grass, the layout is so big, but they're sitting there and they're chipping away slowly and steadily. But at the end of the day, they may not have a big pile of grass. But the fact of the matter is, they have put their heart and soul to weed out all those weeds which are not required for the growth and development of that grass or the lawn. How is it relevant to us in our life? It is all about spending time with ourselves. I've often said this many times. How often do you spend time with yourself? Because when you sit down and spend time with yourself, you're actually looking at you in naked truth. No, shall I say, dilution of anything. No adding things from outside, no removing things just to make it look nice. No, none of those. You are looking at it as it is. Just like these plants. They are growing the way they can grow best, going towards the sunlight. Because that is their nature. They reach out for the sun, they draw nutrition from the sun. What about us? What do we draw our nourishment from? We draw our nourishment through ourselves. Are we afraid of stepping into the darkness? Are we afraid of acknowledging there is darkness in our life, in some corner? A lot of us I've seen, we just run away from it, scared to approach it. But the question is, for how long? How long are you going to run away from your own darkness? Not necessarily that you have to understand everything, but it's important to accept that darkness exists, because that's how nature is. If you have sunlight for a couple of hours, you have darkness for a couple of hours, only that it becomes light again after those many hours, and that cycle continues. So when you accept that life goes on in that manner, light, dark, dark, light, light, dark, up, down, down, up, what is there to be scared of? Once you understand that rhythm, once you understand that that is how life is, never ever changing, never stopping. It is that fear in our own mind, the fear which scripts a story inside our mind that you can't do this and you better be cautious here and you better not take this risk. What if, what not? It's a story. Who's creating it? The mind. Have you really seen it? Have you really experienced it? No. However, a lot of you may say, no, we have experienced it. We have experienced it. Well then, what did you learn? Because experience is giving you a lesson. Many of us don't learn. Many of us pick up that experience and think, I've been a victim of that it's always going to be the same. Yes, a lot of us think that because we've gone through an experience, it's always going to be like that. I'll give you a classic example. Traffic in a particular city. You visited that city or stayed in that city for maybe 10 years. You move to another city on work. You come back and you see the change. Did you ever expect it? No, but it happened. So, the hope that things will improve is always something nice to propel you along. What is important is the openness. Being open to the fact that things can change despite the experience. If it doesn't, so be it. At that point of time, that is what it is. But does that mean it will not change? Don't know. But for the moment, it's important to be right here grounded. What is happening around you? Watching things grow around you at this moment is what is important. And that's what a gardener does. He looks at his entire environment, whole garden that he's taking care of at the moment. What requires watering? What requires soil change? What requires manure? Now, that is the way to move forward, slowly and steadily, with assurance that you will get to your destination at some point. Give it a thought. Have a lovely day.